Good morning, students. Okay, we'll start with the next topic, that is flooring. In the previous video, we have started the discussion on flooring. So what we have covered in the previous video, okay, so we have discussed about the definition of the floor. So which is a part of the building which supports occupants of the building, furniture, equipment and internal partitions. So can you see in this diagram? Okay, which gives supports, which supports what? Occupants, instruments, equipments. Okay, and it will also provide supports to the internal walls, also partition walls like this. Okay, so all these things will be supported by the floor. This is a floor. Okay, now what else we have discussed? Requirement, this part we have completed. Okay, in the last class only this part is completed. So we have two types of floors, that is also completed now. Ground floor, okay, which is directly resting on the ground, and upper floors which are not resting on the ground, they are generally internal floors. They are called as internal floors. So this is typically ground floor, these are called as upper floors. The topmost floor is called as roof. Topmost floor is called as roof. Now come to the very important point. What are the components? What are the components of a typical floor? Means what? When you see this diagram, and when you cut this section, take a section of this one, how it appears. So that exactly you want to see. So in the cross section, you can see the various components of a flooring, but in this view you only see the floor cover. You can only see the floor cover. So the total floor includes this floor cover as well as the floor base when you see it in the cross section. Okay, now here major component, there are two major components. What is that? Floor base, second is floor covering. Okay, I am highlighting only these two words because floor base is also called as base course, subfloor, but this will make more confused. Okay, so that is why I am using floor base as the bottommost part. Above that you have floor cover. That's all. No, one is base, one is cover. Floor base, floor cover. That's all. No, you should be easily remembering this one. Okay, so don't get confused all these things, base course, subfloor, simply floor. No, nothing. You remember only two component. Name of the two component are, one is the floor base which is at the bottom, above that you have floor cover. That's all, floor cover. Okay, very simple. Now so this is a typical cross section. Here you can see typical cross section of the floor. So almost all variety of the floor, types of the floor will be same like this. Only there will be change in this top. There will be change. Almost all the floor types are same only. Okay. So this is floor finish or the floor cover, that is only changing. Material changing is there. Okay. So that is why the different names are there. But there will be almost all same thing is there. Okay, you understand this point. Okay, very important. This is the cross section of the wall. I will here only explain. This is the cross section of the wall. This is the footing. So here existing ground level is there. After that, what is there? Compacted earth fill. Very important. This is called as compacted earth fill. So you put the earth here. So above the you roll some vibratory plates and all. So you make it a one strong base for flooring. Okay, so that is why it is only soil. No, soil is compacted. So that is why we are calling it as a compacted earth fill. Above that you put what? Lean concrete. Lean concrete means what? Cement is little bit less compared to other aggregates. And aggregates also a little bit bigger size. So cement is less, so that is why we call it as lean concrete. Otherwise, if you put normal or cement quantity is rich, so then we call it as rich concrete. It is called as rich. Okay, so lean concrete means of one layer which also acts as one strong foundation. Okay, a strong foundation for what are the things which will come on the top. So first is compacted earth, second is lean concrete. Lean concrete, after that, after placing the lean concrete, you have one small thin layer. What is this thin layer? It is called as DPC, damp proof course. It's called as damp proof course. Above that you are putting what? Cement concrete, normal cement concrete, a strong cement concrete. So all the three layers, 1, 2, 3, plus this DPC. DPC is not a layer actually, it is a one membrane kind of a thing. Okay. Now first compacted earth, second lean concrete, third normal cement concrete. All the three are nothing but base or floor base. We call it as a floor base. Okay, earth, lean concrete, cement concrete. These three will comprise what? Layer 1, 2, 3. These are called as floor base. Only this top one, after putting all the things, you get what? Floor finish. That is, we generally call it as a floor finish or floor covering. Floor finish or floor covering. This is the typical section of a floor. Typical section of a floor. So if you see in this diagram, in this drawing also, when you cut this section, when you cut this one, it is appearing as this one only, appears as that schematic diagram. So only at the top you have tiles, no? So the tiles forms what? Tiles forms this layer, that is the floor finish. Tiles are nothing but floor finish. So here you can get what? Mosaic tiles, marble, okay, like that you can get so many types. Okay, so this is a typical. If you remember this part, almost all types are same only there will be change one layer or two layers. Okay, very important. Okay, so here what we are going to discuss. So floor base is a structural member which supports covering. Obviously the base, all the three layers, 1, 2, 3, earth, lean concrete, normal concrete, 3. These acts as what? Support or structural component for what? The covering, for the covering. Okay. So main function is what? It is not going to settle. It is not going to settle. Okay. And also it acts as damp resistance, such that moisture will not come from the bottom and it will come to the tile surface. Okay. So to stop that water, you are putting the three layers. So that is why they are also acting as a damp resistance. Okay. So in some cases, in the ground floors, they are maybe directly resting on the ground. It is also possible, or maybe have some distance. Means what? If this is earth, you can put concrete directly and tiles directly like this. Sometimes you may put some intermediate layer just beneath the earth or above the earth. You may put some intermediate layers or some packing, and above that you can go for other things like that. It is also possible. Generally this is not adopted, only this is adopted. Okay. So if the floors supported directly on the ground are called as solid floors. If they are not directly in contact, they are called as suspended floors. Means what? Ground. It is also ground like this. Example. If whatever the flooring is there, if it is directly coming like this, it is called as a solid floor. If it is not in a contact, so there is some gap is there like this, some gap is there, above that flooring is coming, you call it as suspended floor. So here only I will make you clear. Solid floors generally comprises concrete bases. Okay, for concrete flooring, normal flooring, we go for solid type. Suspended flooring generally adopted in case of timber construction or wood floorings. So timber, wood, if they are using as a flooring material, they should not be used, no, they should not be used in direct contact with the earth, because the insects will come or the water may harm the timber. So that is why they kept a little bit distance above the ground level. So that is why they are called as suspended. Suspended means what? A little bit gap is there between the flooring and the ground. If no gap, then these are called as solid floors. Okay, so solid floor and suspended floor. What are the different materials? So we have so many materials which can be used: cement concrete, lime concrete, stones, bricks, woods. So almost all things can be used as a flooring material. Okay, flooring material. What is this? So floor base is shown in the diagram for solid. So whatever diagram we are seeing, no, this one, this is for solid floor. This is for solid floor. Okay. Okay. So the typical layer is, so I will repeat this one, very important: typical ground floor with concreting. So there will be normal earth. Next is there is a compacted earth. There will be lean cement concrete above that, and DPC layer. Above that there is a rich cement concrete, and it will get compacted first, and curing is done. Later on you put some slurry, cement slurry, and above that you are going to fix the tiles. So the tiles, everything, we call it as floor finish. We call it as floor finish. Okay. So in this one, what are the different materials which can be used? Which can be used as what? Finish. Which can be used as a finishing material. Okay. So what are the topmost layer is there? No. So this top layer, whatever this top layer is there. No. So what type of materials we can use for the floor covering? So here finish is there. Finish is nothing but cover itself. Okay. You understand. Floor finish is nothing but floor covering. Okay. All the three things are what? Floor base. All are floor base. Okay. Floor base. So what are the things we can use? We can use mud, bricks, stones, concrete, terrazzo, mosaic, normal tiles, marble, granulithic finish, wood, asphalt, rubber, linoleum flooring, plastic, cork, glass. So many types are there. Just go one by one, but you understand. Basic construction is almost equal to this. Almost is this. You understand this one. Okay? You understand this. So every type is similar, only like this only, but only at the top the covering will be different. Covering will be different. Okay. So very important question. Very important question from the exam point of view. From the exam point of view. Okay. So what are the factors? What are the factors which affect the selection of the flooring material? Factors affecting the choice of flooring material. Okay. First is always initial cost. Okay. So the cost of material should be conformity with the type of building and its likely use. Means what? For a small building, small cost. For a bigger building, normal cost, economical cost. So initial cost means what? The cost should be as less as possible or economical. Okay. Initial cost. Appearance, how it should appear? It should give pleasing appearance. It should give pleasing appearance or desired color effect. Means what? Whenever you see a typical flooring, no, it should give, what is that? So easy, good look or pleasing appearance. Okay, when you see this building or room, you see these tiles or floors, it should give you a pleasing appearance. Very easy to eye watch. Okay, like that. Cleanliness means what? Cleanliness means it should be cleaned easily. Okay, capable of being cleaned easily. Okay, it should not be a non-absorbent. Okay, it should have resistance to oil absorption and grease. Okay, let us go to this diagram. Okay, in the kitchen, let us say this is a kitchen. What will happen if this oil, whatever the cooking oil is there, if it falls? So the tiles should be such that it should not absorb that oil. So that is why we are telling it as non-absorbent floor. Non-absorbent, it should not absorb. Okay, one thing. And it should get cleaned easily, means by wiping with some cloth it should be cleaned easily. So that type of thing is there. So that is why we are telling it as cleanliness. That is also one factor. That is also one factor for the selection of material. Means selection of material. Durability is very common point. It should be durable means what? For longer lifetime, it should resist its wear and tear, temperature change, disintegration. In one word, you can tell that it should sustain all the temperature or weather effects. Temperature or weather effects for a longer life. For a longer life. Damp resistance means what? We have already discussed now. It should not allow water or moisture it should not allow the moisture to pass through from soil or ground beneath to the top. Okay, so suppose there is a moisture here, so here the flooring is there, it should not pass this one, it should not pass. So that is why we call it as damp resistance. Damp resistance. Sound insulation, we have seen, no? Sound insulation, thermal insulation means what? The whatever the sound is produced from the upper floors or ground floors, they should not easily audible here. So that is why we tell it as sound insulation. Okay, it should avoid noise. Okay, it should not pass, it should not allow sound to pass through it. Thermal insulation means what? The temperature in this room should not easily come here. So the heat and temperature in this room should not come here. So this floor and this floor should be thermally insulated. That is the meaning. So thermal insulation, you should not allow the heat to pass. Fire resistance means what? Material, whatever the flooring material you are using, no, flooring material should be very good in resisting the fire. They should not get easy fire. Smoothness means what? They should provide a easy movement on when you walk on the floor. If it is a floor, when someone is moving, easy movement. It should not make any hindrance or any resistance for the movement. Any resistance for the movement. That is called as smoothness. Hardness means what? Just what do you mean by hardness? If something object, if some person is doing something and he has a hammer in his hand, if it falls, suddenly the tiles or flooring material should not break or should not integrate. So that resistance is called as hardness. That resistance is called as hardness. What do you mean by that one? If some object is falling, the floor should be such strong that it should not allow to make any mark or get cracked. So crack should not come, the marking should not be there. So all those things will tell what? Hardness of the material. Okay, so when you are taking the furniture or chair, when you suddenly drag that one from one place to another place, so the floor should not get damaged. So that is why we call it as hardness. What do you mean by this maintenance? Maintenance is nothing but for a longer lifetime, the maintenance or repair work should be less. Maintenance or repair work should be less. That is why, so the maintenance cost should be very less. Maintenance cost should be very less. Now, what do you mean by this cement concrete flooring? We start with the first type. What do you mean by cement concrete flooring? Can you imagine? You remember this diagram. You remember this. Very important. This diagram. Okay. So I will tell this one also. This is a typical cement floor. Okay. So how the concrete is being done at the floor level. At the concrete is done is the floor level. Okay. So above that they are using the panel type of a structure. Panel type of the structure. This is a typical construction of floor or specially cement concrete floor. This is a part of the floor base. Means what? The bottom portions are prepared here. At the topmost you will get this. You will get this. After this smooth finish, this you are going to get. So this is a typical cement concrete flooring. Cement concrete flooring. Okay, so remember these three layers: earth, lean concrete, cement concrete. So here in the floor finishing itself, you don't get any tiles like that. So using cement only you make a finish. Using cement only you make a finish. Okay, so that is why they have written here. So this is the, okay, we will discuss it in the next video because we will discuss it next.